What's good, y'all? This is a 420 Goonie, just chilling here on this late night for the IWWS channel. You already know. Meh. I don't know if I can do this video seeing this cat in my screen the whole time. Alright, but I got the suggestion for this video on my main page. Somebody, wanted me to talk about people that I felt as though deserve pushes. Whether this is somebody in the independents that deserves to be seen on a grander stage, somebody in the developmental territory that should be called up to the main roster, or even a mid-carder that should be a main eventer. I'm sure that all you guys have people like that. And, before I get into this video, put in the comment section somebody that you'd like to see, whether it's an indie star, somebody in FCW or NXT, or maybe even a mid-carder that you feel as though just deserve better than what they got. Because I'd love to hear your guys' perspectives and your answers, and just hear about it from me. If you're still watching this video. Kitty! Alright, so, if you would have asked me this question about a year or two ago, I would have made this video an hour long. I would have been talking for, I guess, an hour. I would have named off, 500, maybe 1,000 people that I just thought, these guys should be main eventers. These guys shouldn't be in ROH because they're putting on 5-star matches. What's this guy doing in developmental territory? So he's learning to be a super. I would have the hardest time just trying to accept this. But, it's like, as I watch wrestling longer and longer, I feel like I learn more about it, and I feel like I get a better understanding of just like the business side of it. Plus, I'm taking a business class in school now, so that's helping out a little bit. But I guess it's kind of like if you take like a math class in school for a couple of years, you're gonna get better at math. You're gonna understand it a little better, hopefully. And that's just what I've been doing watching wrestling. And last year I might have named off a bunch of people that I felt as though deserve better and should be in that main spot. But now that I'm looking at today, if they're not in that main spot right now, maybe they don't entirely deserve it, or maybe they're currently working on their way to deserving it in the real, recent future. One guy a perfect example, Ring of Honor, Davey Richards. If you would have asked me in 2010 and 2011, I would have said, why is this guy not in WWE? He should be main eventing every night. He should be beating John Cena. He should be the WWE champion because he's the best wrestler, And, once I really thought about it, there are more aspects to being a big superstar than just being a good wrestler. Because if that were the case, Ring of Honor and PWG would just be called WWE, But that's not the case. There's more to it than just putting on a good match, okay? Part of it has to do with your look. Now, I'm not about to sit here and make judgments on other guys' looks, but an example would be like Brodus Clay. He has an attire and a gimmick to him that sets him apart from everybody else in WWE. And so if some talent scout from WWE goes down to Ring of Honor to go check out a show and see what kind of new guys they have coming up, and they notice a bunch of guys that are 5'7", 200 pounds, short brown hair, it's like, what makes you different than any other guy? You put on a 5-star match, well, so does he, so why should I pick you over him? So there's a lot more to it. There's also being able to connect with the crowd. Just like a couple of old matches that I have downstairs on a DVD. Kitty. So there's a couple of matches that I had downstairs just from like 92, 93, 94, and like, for example, Hulk Hogan versus Yokozuna, King of the Ring 1993. Now look, Yokozuna was not as athletic as Davey Richards, but he got the crowd to make noise. Whether they were booing, whether they were cheering, the fact is, people were going and they were making noise at the show. Now, I can turn on to like a PWG show or an ROH show, not any show necessarily, but there are a few that I've seen where the crowd, there's 100 people, 200 people in the crowd, and they're just sitting there and they're just silent, and then like a nice, sequence goes down, or a couple of near falls, and then, a couple of claps, but just I guess it's a different audience, so it's kind of wrong for me to make this comparison, but, if there's more to it than just being a good wrestler, and so in 2009 I might have said, well, Dolph Ziggler should be the world heavyweight champion because he's just such a fucking good wrestler, when, look, Dolph Ziggler's one of my favorites in WWE, okay, so it's going to be hard for me to admit this, but he does need a little work on the microphone. I think he is on his way to becoming one of the best in WWE, and he has an individual look to him. I guess the long blonde hair is different than what everybody else is doing, and he's great in the ring. He's able to put on such a fun match to watch. I mean, Dolph Ziggler sells moves better than anybody. I can't think of anybody that sells as well as Dolph Ziggler. But you know, there's also that part of the another part of the aspect, the microphone work. You know, there are many aspects. I might even be forgetting some, but you know, being able to connect with the crowd, whether you're a face or a heel, that's got a lot to do with it. And you know, there's some matches out there where just the crowd is completely silent and goodbye. You know, so you know, I'm not gonna be sitting here naming off people that deserve better, because you know, just I feel like Vince McMahon and I don't even know, whoever's running TNA, whoever's running ROH and PWG, I feel like they have a better idea than I do at who deserves to be in the top spot. Because in 2002, I probably wouldn't have said John Cena, that's going to be a top dog someday. He's, you know, but I guess growing up, kind of watching it longer and realizing who sells tickets, who plants butts in seats, and who doesn't. You know, I might have talked all the shit in the world about Hulk Hogan in 2010 and 2011 because I was bitter about what he did to TNA. But realistically, I mean, he planted butts in seats. He made a lot of money for WWE. And, you know, it wasn't about putting on a 5-star match then. It's making money. And it's a different business. And I can appreciate it for that. So, you know, I just want to say, if you know, for all you guys that just, you want to see all these people make all these big jumps and do better in WWE, well, if all of a sudden they did, what if they're not ready and God forbid something happens? You know, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it, but if you haven't yet, put in the comment section somebody that you think deserves to be pushed or deserves to be better. Because, like I said, I could be wrong. You know, I probably am wrong. I would love to hear your guys' opinions, who you think deserves to do better, because I'm sure a hell of you might know a lot more than I do. So yeah, that's gonna be my video. Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty. Oh, Kitty just wants to say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Fuck you, Dan. Peace out, y'all.